come back and play at a high level. You're already down one person, and you look at what's happened with the big men, with Rasho and Tim Duncan, both suffering ankle injuries. You might want to put an extra.
Tim coming off the screen, drops it off to Duncan. 7 on the shot clock. Back out, Ginobili. Manu all the way to the basket and scores, and we're tied. And here's Jason Williams. Lorenzen right. Tim with the block and the recovery, and Manu then saves it off.
Fun when you can't sit down or you can't lay down.
That obviously was the warm-up well before the game. Miller with the steal, got it back, and Manu comes right back to get it, as Williams and Miller couldn't do the 2-on-1. Bowen, the floater, counted.
Oh, what hands by Beno Udrih.
Antonio, when they shot just 39% for the game and 1 of 10 from 3. Tim Duncan converts, and the Spurs now.
But really with no energy whatsoever, and Tim Duncan's too good for that.
Like I said, Memphis shot 39. They shot 33% against the Spurs, as Jason Williams lays it up and in. But I think they are. Williams flips it back to Battier. P.Gasol. Tim jumped out at him. Gasol didn't take advantage of it, though. Now Miller for 3. And some foul trouble in the last game against these Grizzlies.
Oh, this is what happened with Tim Duncan and P.Gasol. Tim just rides P.Gasol at the lane. Look at that. I mean, Pal is playing him on the high side and makes really a half-hearted attempt to get to that pass, and that's not good enough.
Jason Williams gives to Gasol, gets Nazr Mohammed, and he converts. 9.
Stop them in the open court. They can't stop them in the half-court set. And you remember last year, the Grizzlies beat the Spurs 3 out of 4 during the regular season, then got swept. These guys know
they're in, and it'll be interesting to see how they do play.
Oh, yeah, they won enough early on to hold their position, so you have to give them credit. They're a legitimate playoff team.
Tim Duncan showing his strength going to the basket. Very impressive fashion. Battier, strong. Tim stronger with the block. Manu. Right outlets to Williams. Gasol
has the potential to be a magnificent player.
Timeout is called. Gasol, their leading scorer, averaging 17 a game and 7 boards as well. And the Duncan and the Spurs are on the short side, 15-10. We'll be right back. On Wednesday, the Spurs head to Minneapolis after the game to face the T-Wolves. Inside is Nazr Mohammed, blocked by Gasol. First block of the night for.
They've played some physical defense here to start the ball game. It's apparent that they're trying to get ready for the playoffs as well.
Miller steps up over Barry and hits the jumper. And what a net with 3 minutes to go in the first period.
You know, the offense has been a little sloppy here, but you don't see Pop off the bench yelling and complaining.
Mike Miller makes it a 7-point game.
Those are 4 tough games, though.
Yeah.
Out there on the road against playoff teams, they're just getting shellacked.
G.Robinson off the bench and into the basket as are contesting every shot tonight.
Yeah, that's where you got to go somewhere else if you're the Grizzlies. You don't want to try to post your guys against Tim Duncan. Normally, you're not going to win that matchup.
Tim, off balance, got bumped, and I'm sure thought he was going to get a call. So
got it to go, but no whistle.
Give a puzzled look at the official. Right, and no call there, and he's going, I guess that's fair play.
Oh, they beat that shot up.
Tim Duncan back to G.Robinson. Nobody touching his elbow.
I'm telling you, that jumper is so smooth.
Duncan moves.
Well, let's see if he got fouled here. Ball fake by Lorenzen Wright. There's the push off. You see Tim, the momentum carrying him to his left. Just a clever player. He's smart.
5 on the shot clock. Barry rotates Robinson. Beno Udrih. Bingo! And Beno.
So, yeah, obviously, they're trying to rust him a little bit, but I say, we were talking about James Posey being a little overactive on the offensive.
Sean Marks to Manu Ginobili. Looks to Duncan, nothing there with Swift on him. Brooks open for the 2 and hits it. Street close. The other guys know, guess what? He's not coming in tonight, regardless of the situation.
Right.
I mean, so
you got to take care of business.
Yeah, don't look for relief. Marks with a slam, and what a feed that set him up.
Against big men, throwing lobs to other big men, running the break. Unbelievable talent by both players.
Getting after it.
Yeah, so Wilkes almost took out Manu Ginobili going for that rebound.
Robinson from Manu. Counted again. And Glenn Robinson, who, the last 3 games has played alley-oop we had before the break.
Yeah, this is just so unusual for a power forward to be bringing the ball up, A, and then throwing an alley-oop to your center, B. Playing issues, Mike Fratello not using that 10-man rotation that Hubie Brown loved, and a lot of these players are upset about that because they're not getting the same amount of minutes.
Glenn Robinson backing in, and Posey, little shake and bake, and he
makes you especially deadly.
Here's Manu Ginobili. Yeah, and again, you talk about a lot of guys, you figure how Glenn Robinson can fit into that playoff picture. How about that fit?
Big dog is barking right now.
Because he's tearing them up as we take a timeout.
Yeah, and here he is working the low block. Oh, Posey, you didn't have a chance on that one. Take that one too, Bonzi Wells.
4 on the shot clock, and just in time as Gasol drops it in. Performance for Argentina. Coming back from that groin injury, getting stronger. Miller, speaking of strong, wow, and a foul.
I haven't seen anybody all year long go baseline like this and dunk on the Spurs.
Showing you tonight, he can do it outside and inside.
Well, it's Miller time along the baseline. Mike Miller showing you his tremendous athletic ability and his talent, able to put that ball on the floor and go straight to the rim and put it down with some authority.
Brent Barry waiting to check in for the Spurs. Gasol against Nazi Muhammad. Rebound to Nazi, almost fighting with Ginobili, and that allowed Gasol and Wright to get run, providing that. Miller. Back to Gasol, wide open, and swishes the jumper.
That really speaks about his versatility. He's not really a Dirk Nowitzki type player, but with his back to the basket, he's much better than Dirk.
Glenn Robinson on the dribble with a man in his face.
No, and take the last shot.
Barry feeling the pick from Wright. Miller drops it off. Now coming down the lane, Gasol.
Numerous times, and really, when you talk about the in-between game, he's in the upper tier in this league. There's the ball fake. Watch this one. Oh, Posey, nothing Stonewall Swift can do about it but receive that jumper. And here's that 2-dribble on the floor, stop and pop that we've been talking about. Doesn't matter. The low block on the perimeter.
John, is the Spurs have matched them for field goals. They both have 16. It's the free throw line that's the big story, and we'll have a chance to show that in a moment as Tim Duncan comes back to get the first bucket of the second half. But count on them coming back here in the second, see if they warm it up a little bit. Bano looks for Ginobili. Manu, let's go with the 3 and hits it. He has passed some of those up, as you have mentioned, a couple of 30 against the Blazers a couple games ago.
He's been on a tear.
Miller off the hands of Wright to Gasol. And just as the shot clock buzzer sounds, go back to Bano setting up Manu for the 3.
Bano knifing through the lane, doing his best Tony Parker imitation. There's Manu Ginobili wide open, and you can't get
the first time tonight. Hard to believe, as he makes a living there so often. And Ginobili's a couple of assists. Also 3 blocks. Have you been paying attention at all?
Exactly. I was about to say.
That's a
little too easy.
Miller. And now Gasol gives to Wright. And Wright with a jumper. Denver later tonight. Spurs must win to have any chance of being the #1 seed. Ginobili blocked, no call.
He made the contact that time. Defense is waiting on him.
Miller sets up for the 3. Teams, Dallas, Denver, Houston, the Spurs, they want some momentum going into the playoffs. Last year they lost their last 4 going into the Spurs. Manu with a spin, got it. It was ugly, but had the result of ugly. This one inside, and Battier goes up, got a block by Duncan, wrestled for on the floor. Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Say it better.
It's like missing a 3-point at dunk.
So Gasol having a good night overall. Hits the free throw. And, well, boy, I can imagine what enthusiastic bunch that will be on Wednesday night.
Oh, yeah.
The Timberwolves, not the Spurs.
That's
Bowen. And Bruce hits.
Bruce Bowen again.
On the short side, 56-52, 5:53 to go in the third.
Rebounds in one possession. It's enough to make the coach pull his hair out.
Ginobili. Bano for three. Hallelujah. Grizzlies look a little tired right now.
Yeah, they do. Not nearly as much energy as they had in that first half.
Miller not that tired as he hits the three. Floor, 17 points. Ginobili looking for an opening and found it. And can't believe there wasn't a call.
Hard work. And then Manu Ginobili right under the arm of P.Gasol. Nothing that the big man can do about it.
Spurs down. Now they come into the new building, the FedEx Forum, and they're 44-36 coming in here tonight, trying to snap a 4-game losing streak, going to the playoffs again. Miller with a lefty, 60. 14-point first half performance, and
not even touching the rim. His shots aren't touching the rim. The only thing they're touching is twine. See those right there? We used to play. G.Robinson would be deadly in that game.
He was smooth tonight, that is for sure. The feed to Bonzi Wells, an acrobatic shot, and an and one opportunity.
9-5. That's pretty good.
Barry with it out front. Inside to Duncan from Ginobili, and Tim counted, and he'll go to the line. What handle?
That ball's whipping around the horn. Tim Duncan finds the gap. Cardinal there too late. Earl Watson there not in time. There's the foul. Tim Duncan with those tremendous hands, the best hands.
And the Spurs last led at 6-4. It's tied for the 5th time, and now the lead is.
They are my biggest disappointment of the year.
Wow.
Just players showing no heart down the stretch, and I wanted that team to make the playoffs, and the league needs them to make the playoffs.
Wilkes with a terrific move. Could 10, 250, 2,000. Hurry, supplies are limited. Robinson again unconscious tonight. Manu Ginobili surveys the floor, finds Barry. Back out Wilkes. Glenn Robinson down low this time, got it again. Wow. Been playing pretty loose tonight. 76-75, Grizz back on top on that bucket by Swift. Robinson again. His best night as a Spur. Glenn Robinson, 23, 9 of 11 from the floor.
Well, you know, Tomal Swift, one of these guys is going to be forced to guard Glenn Robinson, and he's going to eat them alive.
Leads now changed 7 times. Underneath, make it 8. P.Gasol. Well, Glenn Robinson has put on a show.
Yeah, who let the big dog out from three-point land? You see that ball was so pure, didn't even touch the rim. Here he is again, underneath, nice little pump fake, gets the ball up over Tomal Swift, and then last play, coming off a pick and roll. P.Gasol, Tomal Swift, no chance of guarding Glenn Robinson at the 3 spot. Not bad at all.
Mobley comes in, Ori takes the seat. And Gasol. Denver tonight, and it's Sacramento to get the #1 seed in the Western Conference. Ginobili on the drive. Slips it off. Nazr Mohammed with a flush.
Nothing you can do about that play if you're the Grizzlies. Nazr Mohammed for an easy 2 points.
Nazr Mohammed had a double-double 2 games ago with 10 and 14 against Portland. He's not far away from doing it again. Gasol counters the other way for the Grizzlies. 80.
He picked that ball up and he went right around Tim Duncan.
Ginobili with Battier in his shorts, and Manu sneaks to the hole. Count it! Oh my, what a shot by Manu Ginobili!
Second time when he's in there, the help isn't as eager to come over, and they're too slow. They're going to try to jump at the last minute, because if they jump too early, he's going to drop the ball off for somebody to dunk it again. This time, he gets accosted and still makes it.
Phoenix on top by 2 going into tonight. And they play Denver this evening. It's out at Swift. He takes it to the basket. Kicks it back out to Battier, and they rotate. Williams. Nice feed to Tomal Swift.
Yeah, I think he's taken the title of floor king away from Antonio Daniels.
Yeah. Robinson, Wilkes, Ginobili, Duncan, and Mohammed. And Spurs. Over Miller. No. Rebound to Battier.
I took too much time trying to develop that play.
Miller. The reverse. Got it. They can tie with a 3.
Memphis picking up their defense, but at this point in the game, take it to the basket with some authority.
Miller ties it.
Bit of a shooter to leave wide open out here on the perimeter. All he needs is an inch of daylight, and he gets a lot more than that. Comes up with a huge 3-ball. He hit a big 3-ball, and they've been taking the ball in the basket and knocking down their free throws.
17 on the shot clock, 31 in the game now. Duncan with it. For the lead, and the Spurs by a pair, 92-90. Timmy with 17. Right back to your bread and butter man, though, Tim Duncan.
Oh, no question about it. Here he is working at the top of the key, and you know, just when you're a big man, you're not prepared for other bigs to step out and drop jumpers on you like that. You spent your entire life working in the low block area, and you're asked to go, or Tim Duncan on the perimeter. Look at that ball fake. Just backs up Lorenzen Wright 2 or 3 feet off of him.
92-90 Spurs. Gasol to inbounds to Jason Williams. Williams looking for Miller. No surprise. Strong to the glass and ties the game. 22 seconds. Shot clock turned off. Remember the Spurs.
Thing that Tim Duncan could do. Mike Miller caught this ball with a full head of steam, continues going, and all Tim can do is make an attempt at the block.
Miller has 26 to face the Grizzlies.
He gets an easy shot.
Pop is signaling from the sideline. Watch for the lob. Jason Williams
there it is right there.
For the game. Count it. They're saying count it. They will check.
Sidelines.
Miller's not waiting around.
No, he's wide open because he sets a fake screen, but that's no good.
I don't think so.
That's no good. But you know what? Jason Williams looked over at the scores table, and he was livid. He sets a screen there, and that forces Nazi and Bruce to both go towards Stromile Swift, and that's something that happens in the huddle where those two guys have to communicate, everybody, not just to those two guys. You have to say, hey, we're switching everything. That ball looked like it was still in his hands, though, when he let it go.
It's much closer than I thought. I thought it was obviously good.
Did you see Jason Williams there? Look at that. That's red right there.
Yep.
Jason Williams looked over at the scores table, and he's like, what's up? You guys started the clock early. Seconds left. And it started. The clock has clearly started without Mike Miller catching the basketball.
Started before Williams ever threw it in bounds.
Oh, the headlines of next day read, shot no good. And then the bottom it says, by the way,